doesn't that face look flawless though? Like, that face look flawless, and we finesse the heck out of these products. What's up, everybody? It's your girl Melissa Renee, and yes, honey, y'all feeling this look? I said, are you feeling this look? I hope y'all feeling this look, because we about to get into this look. Remember, I posted and I told y'all about on my Instagram about, you know what I'm saying, how this foundation application was just looking flawless, you know what I'm saying, and I just wanted to show y'all how to do that. So I'm gonna show y'all how we gonna quickly do that. It's not nothing, you know, that's gonna take a long process. It's nothing that's gonna make you have to buy up the whole store. It's just two little simple things. You may already know, and if you do, kudos to you. And if you don't know, hey, I'm here to let you know. Nothing wrong with that, okay? So let's get into it. So, you know, I first explained that with this look, if you don't follow me on Instagram, make sure you do. That is dreambellaboo, dreambella, and just like that, hey boo, boo, on Instagram. And I put up a post, and I was like, I'm gonna show y'all this look. You know, I was like, y'all, you know, I was so enthused and so happy about how I felt like it's flawless as possible, my foundation look. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love this, and I want to show people how I did it. Okay, hi everybody. You know, I was getting a whole lot of requests about people wondering, what did I do for such a flawless foundation application? Well, since y'all was asking, I had to give it to you. No, sis, you're doing too much. Just doing too much. Doing too much. So I already prepped my face, okay? And I would kind of go into like what I do to prep my face, but you know, I feel like honestly, like my face prep and regimen is not necessarily like what, you know, other vloggers on here be doing. Like mine is just like really simple. I wash my face with Ambi soap, the black soap. I maybe do a scrub on my face like once a week. Other than that, I just use that Ambi black soap, and I use some Ambi fade creams from a little, you know, little skin. You know, it kind of works. At least I think it does. And then, you know, I just kind of use this black Radiance moisturizing cocoa butter moisturizing stick and rub it on my face. And that's just kind of it for my I need to up my facial regimen, and I will. But you know, what I use is simple enough. It works. I don't think I'm ever going to change my black Ambi soap because it's doing the darn thing. But I mean, who knows? So I was watching Jackie Anna, and I saw that sometimes she will mix her moisturizer with her foundation, which I've done before. So that's not something that was new to me. But I've tried that, and it doesn't really give me a good outcome. Now, it could be the foundation, it could be the moisturizer I use, I don't know, but it tends to make me look very like really dewy, and I don't really like that look. You know, I don't necessarily like to look matte, but I don't like to look all extra gooey and dewy, if you know what I mean. So I was like, well, I'm gonna try to mix my primer with my foundation and just kind of mix them together. So you may know some foundations where you have your concealer already together, but most products or foundations that has primer already mixed in it tend to be kind of like a BB cream. You know, your BB creams are like a moisturizer mixed into a foundation, or some type of moisturizing primer mixed into a foundation. So it kind of gives that effect, but because it's not, what I came to find out when I mixed my primer with my foundation, it didn't make it translucent or thinner. It kept the kind of same consistency to me. It still did the same coverage. It didn't, you know, make the coverage any less. So when I saw that it did well with the coverage, and it just gave my application more of a airbrush feel, I was like, yes. Okay, honey. And I'm not saying I made this up. you might see thousands of people who already done it, but for me, this is something that I haven't, you know, saw anybody else do, you know, maybe because I didn't look at their videos long enough and, you know, went through all in the rabbit holes of each vlogger's videos. But I just kind of came across this trying it because I know the moisturizers just don't work for me. So I'm going to use some AC Pro Girl. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm still budgeting. You know, chick ain't really got no real job, if you know what I mean. I was doing makeup, but you know, I don't do makeup anymore professionally. But that's a whole nother vlog, okay? I'm going to use this over some areas. Now I'm using this right here because I caught myself waxing and burnt the heck out of my darn. So now I have a permanent dark spot around my lips. So don't do waxing if y'all don't know what you're doing like me. So I'm gonna use it here because, you know, I have hyperpigmentation in certain areas and a lot of it is around my mouth. So I'm just going to use that around where it's kind of like darker or discolored, and it's usually like in this area right here. And you have to make sure when you using these color correctors that you really blend it out. Kind of blend it, because if you don't blend it well, if you don't blend it out well, like you will see that when you put your foundation on, it'll look really orangish or red. It have like an orangey reddish undertone, and you want to avoid that. You don't want your foundation looking like, oh. I don't really put it under my eyes. I used to, but for me, I feel like the concealer or the foundation does a great job of covering it, so I don't feel like I'm that, you know, dark under my eyes. But you know, y'all can see I have a little bit of saggy baggies, but you know, we'll get rid of those too. I am going to take this setting powder, and it is a setting powder from Ruby Kisses. I got it from the hair store. It is not, it says it lasts for 16-hour flawless rub proof wear. I won't say that it's the best. You know, I say that you have to place it on there lightly, because if you place it on there very heavy, it kind of is hard to kind of move. So, you know, I'm just going to place it on here lightly. This is not the best foundation. You can definitely find better, but for right now, this is what I got. So this is what we're going to use. So I'm going to take this powder, the color, and I'm using this because it kind of is closer to my complexion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it over the areas that I feel like my foundation doesn't really stay, and it kind of starts wearing off, or it shifts, or it moves. And I learned this from Jackie Aina. I haven't really tried it yet, so this will be my first time really like executing it and trying it to see if that is definitely the case, and if it, you know, kind of stays. So I'm just going to, like I say, lightly press it on, because if you put too much at a time, like I said, it will look really patchy and blotchy. You know what I'm saying? One thing I would say, like, about, like, you know, more affordable products is that, like, sometimes you just can't work with some things, you know, and sometimes you just can't work with it based off of your skin type, based off of, you know, how you wear it, you know, a lot of things, you know, a lot of variables go into why certain products don't work for you, especially the ones that's more inexpensive. And sometimes it's how you place it on there. So, you know, where you have more expensive products, you can just kind of, you know, sometimes you can just put them on and it's just so the application is just so easy to put on. It's not much of a headache or a hassle. You don't have to do a lot of tricks and, you know, finessing to get it to be the way you need it to be. You know what I'm saying? Whereas more inexpensive products, sometimes you gotta finesse it a little better. So I say, you know, that's kind of the toss-up between more, you know, high-end expensive luxury brands versus more affordable brands. Sometimes it's, do you feel like finessing, you know, if you don't have to finesse? Do you feel like it's worth the finessing? Do you feel like it's worth using, you know, more products where you might have to use more products to finesse it versus maybe a more higher end product and you can use a little, like a little goes a long way, you know, just stuff like that. So this is where my face oil, you know, kind of like breaks up, my makeup kind of breaks up and starts to fade and shift. It's around this area, and I realized that that it does that a lot, you know, this past weekend. And it was like, before I could really get out the door, it just was like going. Now that also has a lot to do, once again, with the type of products that I use, and I'm using Black Opal. So it is a drugstore product. It is not the most expensive. In this area too, like around here, around my nose, in this area, it loves to get very oily. But anyways, like I was saying, you know, I'm using Black Opal. So by using Black Opal, you know, I might have to finesse it a little better just to make my foundation last a little longer, because it is a more inexpensive product. So the formula might not be, you know, have as much quality as a more expensive product, if you get what I mean. I'm really oily up here and down around my mouth. Everything else pretty much, for the most part, like my cheek area is cool. That doesn't really get too bad, but so I just want to kind of like put all of that product up in here. Now I am going to squirt some Mary Kay primer, and it doesn't have to be any particular primer, I don't believe. This primer does have an SPF, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna put a little bit on my hand like this. I'm going to take this Opal True Color Pore Perfecting Liquid Foundation in All Chocolate. I do use a darker foundation because when I use my concealer, it all kind of comes together when I use, because my concealer is really light, and by the time I use concealer and powders and all that kind of stuff, like it evens out and comes back to my skin tone. So that's a tip that I learned from Miss Beauty by Melissa, and I love her. Like I love her, and I love her applications, and I love the way she do stuff. So I follow her. She might not be as big as other influencers, but I love her. Yeah. So yeah, I'm sorry, it's just squirting all over the place. So let's take this off. So I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna mix it with this, and I'm gonna try to slide this over and mix it with this. So I just mix it together. It's on my brush, and now I'm just going to, you know, apply lightly. And I do find that when applying your foundation with a brush, like just like nice light stipples, like stippling to me I love, you know what I'm saying? I love the stipple effect. But I realized that, you know, I've been pounding my face like really hard, and I feel like I get a better, and this is for me, I get a better application when I go in. Y'all see that? Do y'all see how, y'all see? I thought I was imagining things. I thought I was imagining things. I was like, you know what, girl, makeup day. But do y'all see how good this app, you see how that thing just looks so skin like? it just looks so skin, man. And if you think about it, it's like it kind of helps you from using a whole lot of your foundation. And like I told you, the coverage is still there. You know, it doesn't thin out the coverage. I'm still getting the same coverage I was getting. Try to add, I just add an even amount, like nothing, like the same dabble of foundation is the same dabble of primer. And I just go light-handed with stippling all over my face. Now I'm gonna go in with this fluffy brush, and I'm just going to, and you could do this with your sponge if you have a sponge, but I like brushes. I like this fluffy brushes. This is from Real Techniques. The other brush I used was from Real Techniques too. So, and I'm just pressing that in and just kind of like blending that all in. One thing with this situation you can then do is you can then go in with a setting spray, spray your face, set it before you put your foundation on. Now you don't have to do it, but it does help with making your application look more, you know, not so much cakey, and it makes it kind of look more skin-like. I'm going to use this Make It Last. I don't personally, I used to like Make It Last. I don't really care for it now. It's not really working for me now anymore. And it was just last minute. I just had to get it, you know what I'm saying? It was, you know, the way my bank account was set up, I wasn't able to go and get my usual, which is I love the Mario Badescu or the Rose Water with fixing with Matte Fix Plus. So I'm gonna spray, try to stay 8 inches away. So, and only reason I'm doing this right now is because, like I said, I don't think this Make It Last is the best setting spray right now for me. And so because I don't have the ones that I usually do, I am just working with this. So I figure maybe if I do my spray in between applying my layers, it will benefit me better than just trying to just do one at the end. Now I'm gonna take this Tarte in Tan Tarte Shape Tape. I love to use Tarte Shape Tape, and I'm going to apply my concealer. Now when applying my concealer, I am going to do a little bit, and then I'm gonna take it this way. I'm gonna do a little bit, and I'm gonna take it this way. Now some people go down, other people go out. You might feel like that's a preference to what people want to do, when in actuality it's all about the way you want your face to be shaped. If I went and did my foundation going all the way down to my cheek, it elongates my face and makes it look longer, and I already have kind of like an oval face, so I don't want it to look longer. So I want it to look more fuller, maybe, and rounder. So I will blend out, and then I will blend my contour up. You see what I'm saying? And that's the, like with my contour, I'm just gonna go right here and right here. I'm not gonna bring it all the way down. I will blend it all the way down, but I'm not gonna bring it all the way down. You know what I'm saying? I blend it upward like this and upward like this. So now I'm gonna take my Real Technique brush, and we're just going to blend. And like I said, we're going to blend. We're going to blend down, but we're going to blend out this way. Going up, And I'm just taking the edge and just kind of edging and smoothing that out, because we're trying to get rid of harsh lines. Harsh lines. And just kind of blending all of that. So that's something y'all can know, and I'm gonna set it in. Something that y'all can take heed to, like if you are using, I don't know, you left yours, you got to use somebody else setting spray. It ain't setting spray that normally work for you, and you in a panic, you know, just use it and just kind of like use it every time you apply a layer of your makeup, and it may be a little bit more helpful in setting the makeup versus trying to wait to the end to set all of it at once. And I'm using Be True Complexion Contour Palette by, focus, no, by Black Radiance, excuse me. And I'm just gonna just add that here. I don't really go extra hard with the contour. I just, you know, use it to kind of warm my face up and give it a little definition. Now, because I got like the little bags right there, I'm gonna try a trick that I saw Jackie Anna use. We went in with a little lighter concealer. Where them little bags at, and she added a little right there. See if we can get rid of that little bag area. And I'm gonna just let that sit, because this is LA Pro, and sometimes you gotta let it sit a little bit, I feel, to get a little tacky so that it can, you know, do the job. That's that finessing again. Remember I told you, with, you know, drugstore products, more affordable products, you gotta finesse it a little better, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like I let that get as tacky as I feel like it's going to get. See what I'm saying? So now I get a little bit more out of this concealer, and it don't disappear as much because I waited. And you see how that line kind of disappeared? So it works. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Jackie. So now we're gonna go ahead and go and like set all of this with my setting powder. And my setting powder, I do a mixture of Makeup Revolution, which is not really bad, but it's okay. So I'm just gonna dab this in it, up my nose, and let it bake, and then the rest I'm just going to set. And I'm just going to take this sculpt marker. So for right now, I'm using this. And I ran out the other kind. I just been running out. Like, y'all, you know, this is a broke time for me. I'm a little broke right now. So I'm making it work. Maybe I need to make this video when you broke. How you finesse products when you broke. To wipe this off. But look at this face, y'all. Look at this face. Like, it don't look too cakey. It doesn't. Putting that all on there. So here we are with the final look with the face. Doesn't that face look flawless though? Like, that face look flawless. And we finesse the heck out of these products, out of these drugstore inexpensive products. Now, did we not? And we got a nice airbrushed, even toned face. Like, yes. Who can ask for better? Like, I can't ask for nothing better than that. You know what I'm saying? I said, you know what I'm saying? Thank y'all for joining me. Thank y'all for checking me out. I hope y'all like this. If y'all have any questions, make sure y'all, you know, say in, you know, put it in the comments. And if you like this video, make sure you thumbs up. And make sure you subscribe and you press that little bell so you can get notifications from me every time. But thank y'all for watching, and I will see y'all next time. Peace.